Adventure in Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman, W4CY Radio, and this is our Positively Pipeman segment. Well, our day for Positively Pipeman. This segment right now that we're about to talk about is from the pet health guru, who is definitely a guru when it comes to health of pets and humans too. And today we're going to talk about one of my least favorite things to happen to me, and that would be a parasite epidemic. That's scary. Tell us about that, Bill.
Oh, in nature, there's parasites. We're made up of parasites, some good, some bad. Unfortunately, there is a lot of bad ones out there today. Our pets, of course, we're warned about it all the time. Take that poop sample in to the vet so they can check for parasites because it might be transmissible to people. But it's interesting that when you go to your doctor and you're talking about your pets, they never mention the transmittability to parasites for you to get them. Human doctors don't care about parasites, but to veterinarians, it's a selling point. It's another test that I can do every single time you walk in the door, and quite often they back them up with 2, 3, 4 times, and always comes up. Most of the time, comes up negative. And of course, in the internal parasites like that, roundworms, hookworms, tapeworms, heartworms, all of that sort of stuff, it's a rarity if the animal is in good shape. The body handles it itself. On roundworms especially, usually people don't even think about it until they see the worms coming out of the butt. And actually, at that point in time, the body is already killing them and getting rid of them. So that it's a natural mechanism that we have. In the case of heartworms, less than 3% of canines in nature get heartworms, but yet they want to sell you all these so-called preventatives and that sort of thing that don't prevent anything. It says on the box, this does not prevent anything, but the veterinarian tells you it is, the vet tech tells you it is, and the company just closes their eyes and lets them say whatever they want. Of course, the ectoparasites that we're all worried about are fleas and ticks. Ticks, of course, on the human side as well because of Lyme disease. Fleas, of course, can carry the tapeworms. And again, heavy insecticidal usage, heavy toxins. And actually, when we use these products, the interesting thing is we lower the immune system of that animal or of ourselves. And we are much more susceptible because the body can't fight it off naturally.
So what do you recommend as the pet health guru that people should be doing and worrying about and not worrying about? Like, to me, okay, we're going to have to do something funny here now, but to me, this is what it looks like if I think of parasites in my body or my pet's body.
That's a good illustration.
Right? Isn't AI
Absolutely
beautiful? You tell AI what would be a parasite inside my body, and that's what you come up with.
That's right. Of course, you've got the major inflammation there, and that's, of course, even eating away at more than the parasites themselves are. It is a, in healthy people and in healthy animals, it's not a major issue. It's a minor issue, but it is a very, very strong profit center, for those practitioners that push this stuff. It's, I know just on the heartworm alone, I heard somewhere, and this is going back a number of years, that one of the drug company that makes it makes $1 billion a year in sales on that one product.
Whoa. I'm in the wrong business.
Yeah, we have been. We should have been what doctors are, which is legal drug dealers.
Well, the thing is, it's just kind of like I was just watching on Netflix a thing about Hulk Hogan, and when he turned to the bad guy side of wrestling, he got even more famous. So what's up with that? These people are bad people making billions of dollars at the expense of our and our pets' health and our pocketbooks. So, how do we combat that?
It's continuous education, education, and people have got to start to wake up. I was in a discussion yesterday on the same thing, and it's like, okay, so we look at our pet's life, the longevity used to be 20 to 30 years on a dog, 30 years or more even on a cat. Now, with all this prevention, with all these treatments, you know, and in modern medicine, our dogs are living 8 to 10, our cats 12 years, 15 years old, and the doctors say this is a great thing. They're convinced that all that bad stuff that they're putting into the body is helpful. And if you know just basic physiology, man-made stuff doesn't work very well. It's not going to help the body. It's going to actually destroy it. And every single product that goes through FDA, every medication, vax, whatever it happens to be, all have the same warning label. They can cause 4 things at the top of the list. That's kidney disease, liver disease, seizures, and death. Even the simplest cough medicine. And yet, the professional is not reading the label. I mean, that blows my mind in the first place. And when the client asks the question, "Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. Don't worry about it. It's such small amounts," but that accumulates over years and years of your life. It also goes from grandmom to mom to babies. So we're building this up generationally, and it's amazing. Our bodies are still functioning. Our pets' bodies are still functioning. That's how much adaptation we've had to do.
Wow. So, if somebody were to come into your store in Pompano Beach, Florida, what would you do?
Basically, the educational part, of course, is number 1, good diet. Number 2 is detoxification. You have to get the chemicals out so your body can actually start to heal and fight off those assaults from parasites. And then we can do certain things herbally, naturally, botanically, that will eliminate the parasites themselves and break that chain so we're not, it's not getting worse and being progressive. We're being proactive in preventing it by having that nutrition in the body so the body has the ability to fight itself. It's not about killing that parasite with an herb. It's about feeding the defenses of the animal or of ourselves so it can actually do it.
So tell everybody how they do reach out to, find out where your store is, reach out to My Paleo Pet, check out your podcast, check out your live show, all that good stuff.
Okay, well, of course, our website for the store is mypaleopet.com. We list almost all of our products on that site, so you can just conveniently order for pickups, deliveries, shipments, whatever you need to do. Very comprehensive list of items that's on there. Of course, I can be reached on social media, Facebook, Instagram, all those things, under Pet Health Guru, under My Paleo Pet, BioComplete, which is our manufacturing company. And we are in the process of moving the store as we're recording this, and just go on for the latest in updates, social media wise, listen to the show, and watch, sign up as a VIP, because if you sign up, you're going to get the newsletter, and that's going to tell you exactly where we are. And the physical move is only about a half a mile. So we're going to be in the same vicinity, which is good. It'll make it easier for clients to be able to find us. And we're going to be adding a bunch of new services to it as well. And
tell us about the new services.
Well, of course, we do the nutritional consultations now. But, in the past, we've done things like hair mineral testing and different things like along those lines. But we're going to have a educational center in there. So we'll be able to teach and have a location where we can have guests and lecturers, and we'll be increasing Zoom calls on products, procedures, stuff of that nature. And of course, our focus is going to be a lot on detox, because if we don't detoxify the body, we don't have a chance.
And here's some trivia for you to answer. How many pet owners have ever detoxed their pet?
How many in total? That's
Well,
impossible.
I don't know in total, but maybe percentage-wise. Let's talk about percentage-wise.
Knowing what, okay, just using the pet food numbers, less than 15% of the pet population is fed raw food, which means that 85% of them are listening to what they're being told by the medical community and pouring more toxins, either in the form of food or other things, into their bodies. So I'm going to say it's probably very low, probably 4 or 5%.
Wow.
You know,
It's amazing.
They haven't been told anything else. It really is crazy.
So what if you were to guess about humans? What would you think?
Well, most of the time, doctors don't talk about parasites at all. I mean, about the only parasites I can ever remember doctors in the medical field talking about were head lice. And occasionally you'll hear about a person that's got a tapeworm, unless you're visiting, some of the third world parts of our world, and in which case there are a lot more parasites that are there. Of course, the biggest parasite that we have to face is, like you say, ticks, and of course mosquitoes. You know,
Oh, there was a mosquito that was in my house the other day. It was the size of a bird. Like literally, it was on the wall. It looked like a daddy long legs to me at
wow.
first.
I've noticed a lot of bigger ones now than we've ever had, and you have to wonder if that's part of that, Bill Gates thing, that he's been releasing all these mosquitoes by a lot, that are supposedly sterile, but it looks like they're more like sumo wrestlers.
Yeah, well, and then what else? And did you hear about the new thing that they have now in the Everglades? These Asian eels that are very invasive.
Yep. Yeah, you got that. You got Komodo dragons. Of course, the iguanas have been here forever. The pythons have been here for a long, long time. And there's literally dozens and dozens and dozens of species that have not made the news yet, but that they're coming. Of course, the deadly toads too.
Oh, well, we've known about those for a while.
Yeah.
Tell people that, because we have droves and droves of people moving to South Florida, warn them about what a pet should not encounter with those toads.
It's just you have to maintain control of your animal. That's part of the training thing, because they can be very, very deadly actually. And if you do encounter one, the first thing you got to do is start grab a hose and start flushing out the mouth as quickly as you can. And then some you can use things like charcoal to neutralize it. But yeah, I mean it can be quite deadly. The other thing is generally speaking, dogs aren't looking for food in the wild unless they're on a very poor diet. Because if you're taking care of them with a good species appropriate diet, they're just not looking for it because their body doesn't crave something different. And animals aren't just our dogs and cats. They're just not natural killers. They kill for a reason, and that's nutrition. And if they're not getting the right nutrients, they're more likely to obviously have these encounters.
Hmm. Well, as always, you're a wealth of information. And, man, let's get rid of those parasites. They need to reach out to you, Bill. That's all I got to say. And for those of you that want it real easy, just point your camera at the screen and you'll see that QR code in the top left, My Paleo Pet. And you can hit that QR code and I'll bring you to the My Paleo Pet website. And then you could request them for more information from there.
That's a great idea. Yeah, we appreciate you doing that.
Well, you have a beautiful day, Pet Health Guru, and all our listeners, stay tuned. Don't go anywhere, because coming up next, We're going to be doing some ticket giveaways to festivals, and we're going to talk some powerful business strategies. Pipeman will be right back.
Aftershock, the West Coast's largest rock, metal, and punk festival, returns to Sacramento this October with My Chemical Romance, Tool, Limp Bizkit, Pierce the Veil, plus Suicide Boys, Queens of the Stone Age, The Offspring, A Day to Remember, Wu-Tang Clan, and more. Aftershock, October 1st through 4th. Passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down at AftershockFestival.com. Louder Than Life, North America's loudest rock and metal festival, returns to Louisville this September with My Chemical Romance, Iron Maiden, Tool, Limp Bizkit, plus Pantera, Pierce the Veil, Gojira, Papa Roach, and more. Nearly 200 bands across 7 stages. Louder Than Life at the Kentucky Expo Center, September 17th through 20th. Passes are on sale now, starting at only $1 down at louderthanlifefestival.com.
Hey, you're listening to The Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and this is our Positively Pipeman segment. And we have our resident expert on business with some powerful business strategies. This week, we're going to talk about procedures. What does that even mean? Michael Barbarita, can you tell me what that even means and how we handle it?
Yes. Well, first of all, it was a dirty word. It still probably is a dirty word for most business owners. For the most part, business owners absolutely see the value in it. And I'll describe it in a second, but they absolutely see the value in it. But the work involved historically has been nothing short of devastating. So what a standard operating procedure is, or SOP, is it's all taking each and every process in your business and putting it on paper as to what that process is. And the value that has is a couple of fold. One, it allows new employees to understand the process in your business much easier than some type of training program. Although the training program should still be employed, the SOP accelerates the understanding for a new employee. Secondly, when a buyer is looking to buy your business and you show them your SOPs, when they're under a confidentiality agreement, of course, then you can, the value of your business goes up dramatically because every part of your process is documented. Now, the horror show historically has been preparing those. Some people have their employees prepare them. Each individual employee prepares to do of what they do all the time. But that's not a homogeneous standard operating procedure. That's a collaboration of multiple documents that make up a standard operating procedure. So, but what I found is I've done it for a client recently. When an employee who understands the process and the processes, if there's multiple process, the employee puts together an outline of the process. Now, if there's 10 different processes, then the employee does 10 different outlines. We put it into preferably, and it doesn't have to be, but preferably either Claude or ChatGPT, and preferably Claude because of project knowledge, but anything could be argued on that. It doesn't matter. And then that outline is put into your robot, whether it's ChatGPT or Claude, and they print out the SOP in a format that you want, because you also explain to the AI that you want a specific format, and it prints out the SOP, and the person, the employee who gave you the outline, he edits it, and that's it. And I was able to produce SOPs for my client. We have 15 SOPs. It's in the trades. We produce those SOPs in about a grand total of about 6 or 7 hours. And that includes the outline that was prepared. Once it got to me and I did the SOP, it literally took me maybe 3 minutes. But it took him about 6 or 7 hours in total to put together all the outlines. And that's it. And what used to take, and if you ever were going to do that manually, as some companies have done, it's days and days of work, days and days. So it's a very effective way to generate SOPs, and there's plenty of value in it with new employees, but also existing employees too, because you can't take for granted that the existing employees know the process.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that's dangerous. And as a matter of fact, the SOPs I put together for my clients, some of the employees that have been there for years were enlightened about some things. So it has that value. And then, of course, at resale or at exit, it has tremendous value because a buyer puts a lot of stock in a company that is that organized and has standard operating procedures in place.
It makes for an easy transition too.
Yeah, absolutely, and that adds value to the business, and so I have found it to be a real something that was not even in a conversation that a business owner should put together SOPs because of the burden associated with preparing them. To now, it's definitely clearly in the conversation and a lot less burden.
Nice. So how do people reach out to you to get more information on this and other things that you do to help businesses?
Well, if they go to our website, nextstepcfo.net, in the upper right-hand corner is an orange button. What that orange button is, it's an AI business assessment that takes less than 10 minutes that will find 3 strategies related to their business, the impact that strategy could have on the business, the revenue impact, and a little explanation of how to go about implementing that strategy. And that's free. So, and it takes less than 10 minutes. So if they go to the website, they'll see find hidden revenue, orange button that says find hidden revenue in less than 10 minutes. And they could click that. They could go to it free of charge and find out what's that hidden revenue of $50,000 to $100,000 that's hiding in their business in 3 strategies.
Wow. Well, once again, you're a wealth of information and very helpful for all our listeners who have a business, and everybody needs to check out you, Michael Barbarita, and Next Step CFO, and I think you'll be very happy that you did.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.